All right, welcome back. We continue live right here, Pittsburgh CW. This is your place to sound off after the game, and we saw tonight the Penguins have a 3-2 lead, only to blow it in the third period, something unusual for them against the Capitals. It's normally the other way around, but give the Caps credit. They played a really good road third period, really clogged it up in the middle. The Penguins refused to shoot at times, and quite frankly, they cannot singularly rely on one line, and that's what's happened in the first three games. It's been Crosby, Gensel, Hornquist. They were outstanding again tonight. All three of them scored goals. That was it. They're not getting production from other people, like Kessel specifically, given what we expect, I think, of Phil Kessel. And then you have Derek Brassard, still needs to make his impact on a playoff game and series. Riley Sheahan has been silent. Brian Rust hasn't scored, and normally he does in the postseason. They got to get production from other people other than that top line. I know it's tough out there, but at the same time, that's what it is. It's not just secondary scoring. It's elite players scoring. And those guys that I mentioned, many of them are elite players, so they need that for sure. Also, when you look at this game, to me, Washington just played, like I said, a really good road hockey game. They dumped when they had to dump. They didn't take chances unnecessarily. The Penguins made mistakes in this game, and they took advantage of them. Sometimes the Penguins will play a game and make mistakes, and you won't notice them because they outscore another team or they're irrelevant to the outcome of a game. In these kinds of games, mistakes like the one we saw from Ole Mata, who, again, I think has been consistent all season long. He threw it to an area where he shouldn't have. He then gets tripped up, but that had nothing to do with it. The damage was already done. It was a 2-on-1, and the Capitals converted. All right, let's go out to the line and see what's up. Fonz in Brookline. What's up, Fonz? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Bob Pompeani? I love your show.
Thank you.
The other night when Tom Wilson hit Dumoulin in the head, they didn't give it discipline. Now, at this game, he hit
Zach Aston
Reese in the head. And he was not expecting it. Went after him.
See, I think, listen, the NHL has lowered the bar, in my opinion, so low that there's no way they're going to suspend Tom Wilson for that. Again, they had a chance to call a penalty after they converted.
Yep, exactly. You know what? I miss a goon we had, like Matt Cook. If Matt Cook would have did the same thing, he would have got suspended for 10 games.
Well, Tom Wilson, all right, thanks, man. Tom Wilson has a history, which is why I thought the hit to Dumoulin's head would have been a one-game suspension. To me, there's a zero tolerance policy that's necessary. We've seen it in football. Football asks its players no excuses. And they said, if you make head-to-head contact and your excuse is, well, that guy was about to tackle lowered his target area, they say, so what? You're responsible. And they're taking it to a level I've never thought possible this year. We'll see how it goes, where every head contact is going to supposedly be flagged. I think that's impossible. But the NHL needs to be more serious about headshots. The only way to get rid of them is to say it's zero tolerance. To have 5 paragraphs devoted to what it is a headshot, as they do in their rule book, is ridiculous. Now, if they did not penalize and if they did not suspend Tom Wilson on Dumoulin, to me, they're never going to do it for this hit. Because Zach Aston Reese, they'll say, well, you knew it was coming, and so we saw it, and we'll see. Joey D. Hello, Joey D. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right. What's your take?
Yeah, well, the same thing, the Thomas guy. I'm not saying his hits are illegal, but they're questionable. And I watch other games. Like I said, I've been going to hockey games since 1968. I've never seen so many hits from behind, cross-checking, all kind of different stuff. It's like, what are the rules?
Well, I mean, the rules are there, but the rules need to be applied, number one, and changed to totally eliminate headshots. That's as simple as it can get. And the only way to do it is no gray area. You just say, if you make a headshot with someone, I don't care what your excuse is, you're going to be penalized and likely fined or suspended. Let's go to Pete in Squirrel Hill. Hey, Pete, what's up?
Bobby, how are you tonight?
Good, Pete.
All right, about Phil Kessel, Bob. A lot of people seem to think he has something bothering him, an injury.
He might.
We don't know that. But hasn't his decline in production directly been a result of being taken off of Malkin's line? They have chemistry. They have since he was taken off Crosby's line and put with Malkin. Why would they mess with that formula? And now he seems like he's just not producing like he was
On this
the better
case,
part of
I
2
will
years.
I
What do you
will
think
agree
about
with
that?
you. I will totally agree with you because I did not like what Mike Sullivan did with the forward line combinations tonight. He had Shan playing with Zach Aston-Reese and Phil Kessel. I'm sorry. That, in my opinion, is not how you get the most out of Phil Kessel in this situation. To me, you're in a situation, he has Broussard down with Kuhnackel and Sherry. Okay, first of all, I thought Broussard was acquired here in part to play with Kessel to bring out the best in Kessel. And if he's not going to play with Broussard, then to me he should be playing with Malkin. On this line, you had Dominic Simone and Brian Rust with Evgeny Malkin. Okay, Dominic Simone's a nice young player, but to me, you got to pair, and I'm glad you brought this up because it was another, before the game when I saw the line combinations at warm-up, I was a little surprised. I would put Kessel with Malkin. They do have a chemistry, and you need production from him. Let's go to Tim in South Park. Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Hi, Bob. I totally agree with you. Irrelevant. Kessel, Broussard, totally irrelevant so far this series. But I called you Sunday night, and I was talking about the Penguin players being blown up. Another player blown up tonight. I know Alexiak played a little more physical tonight, but it wasn't enough. We don't have the physical players, I don't think, to compete in this series. We need to hit and score, but we are taking the hits and not scoring.
Well, it was interesting. They on the statistical breakdown, they did have their share of hits. But you're right. I mean, they're not going to win a physical game, nor will they try, quite frankly. I think they know what their game is, and they have to continue to play it. If you get waylaid into thinking you just got to look out for the big hit, you're going to get probably an odd man break against, and I think that's something they want to avoid. But the Washington Capitals are built on this sort of game, and that's what they're doing right now. We'll see if it takes a toll. Thanks for the call. Always appreciate that. 412-575-2600. We have Tom in Duncansville. Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Good.
I just want to say that Matt Murray needs to play better. I mean, there's no excuse for some of the goals he's letting in.
Which ones, aside from the Niskanen, which one aside from the Niskanen one did you have a problem with?
Well, that one, and even the end one, he should have been over a little bit more. It hit the post and went right to Ovechkin. I mean, if he's...
I'm not going to, you have two elite players coming on a 2-on-1 after a giveaway. To me, the problem there was Mata and giving the puck away.
Right. I get that, but he got tripped up, and that should have probably been a penalty.
I'm not. I don't think they're going to call it there. Yeah, they're not going to call that there. And, Letang should have probably played that a little differently also. But, yeah, Matt Murray on that goal by Niskanen, I don't know what happened there, but you can't give that up. There was nobody in front of him. It's Matt Niskanen. It was not a hard shot, and somehow it avoided his glove. So, I mean, in big games, but listen, he has a .926 career goals against in the playoffs, 6 shutouts. He has more wins than anyone at his age in the history of the game. So I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and rip apart. That was a bad goal. He'll be the first to tell you that was a bad goal. You can't afford those kinds of goals in games like this because they're extremely magnified. So.
Right.
All right, man.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go out to Lou in Fox Chapel. Lou, welcome to the Sports Call. How are you and your take?
Oh, hi, Bob. Thanks for the call.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to me that last year's defense actually was better than the Penguins' defense this year, even with Letang back. Wondered what you thought. And the other question is, what do you think of the Steelers' defensive coaching?
Well, I think the Steelers, I have more of an issue with their depth than the personnel at this point because you don't have a lot of depth at linebacker for sure. And that's, in this defense, that has to be the highlight position. And yet, aside from Watt and Dupree, there's not much behind them on the outside. And then on the inside, your starters right now are Vince Williams and the new guy they just got, John Bostic. And I don't know if that bodes well because after them, you don't have a lot of depth there as well. Now, you're going to try to put some safeties up there in the box, try to make them sort of hybrid players. You might succeed, you might not. But corners, more depth. So I have more of an issue of their personnel right now. And yet they went into this draft. And, if you had told me they were going to have 7 picks and only 3 of them would be defensive players, I would have been surprised by that. And none of them are inside linebackers. I really would have been surprised by that. But, hey, we'll see what happens with it. But I still think the coaching, you got to put guys in the best possible position. Now, we'll see what happens with this group of players. And there's a long way before we see exactly what they're going to be doing in training camp and into the games. JJ in Monroeville is next up. Hey, JJ, how are you?
Hey, Bob, thanks for taking my call.
Okay, no
I
problem.
was going to point out that Montelas tripped on that play. However, that's beside the point. You know, Washington is bringing the physicality, and Wilson really is hitting us hard. We got to match him physical for physical, and that's the bottom line in this series, I think. You know, Kessel's got to get going, Broussard's got to get going, and the second and third line's got to really come to the party here.
And yeah, and you know, their power play has got to be an asset. It's not really been in this series, and you got to score on the power play. That's how they win games. And if you don't, you know, connect on a lot of them, you're going to be in trouble. So we'll see. By the way, the Jets were down in this game 3-0 to Nashville. They tied it, went ahead 4-3. Nashville tied it 4-4. Bonino got into a fight, and now the Jets have just taken the lead at 5-4. What a wild scene. Winnipeg is lit tonight, I can tell you that. I think there are only 700,000 people who reside in that area of Manitoba. They're probably all either in that arena or around that arena tonight in Winnipeg. Good to see. We'll take a break, come back with more right after this on Pittsburgh CW.